Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Asian Psycho, and we are back for more reviews on the E.T.A playlist, and this time we're going to be taking a look at the NEGEV Machine Gun. I believe it's the third weapon that's available in the clan shop. And a little bit of background information on the NEGEV Machine Gun. It costs 1100 GP a day, and it is unlocked at clan level 3, just like the TMP before it. So let's get into the NEGEV Machine Gun review. So I'm going to be comparing the NEGEV machine gun to the MINIMI machine gun that I had reviewed much earlier in this playlist, because statistically speaking, they're actually quite similar. Not too similar, but they are similar enough for me to kind of compare the two. So if you guys will bear with me as I kind of compare this to the MINIMI machine gun. I don't know how many of you guys enjoyed using the MINIMI, but because I've used it before and I know how it works, I'm going to be comparing the NEGEV's performance to the MINIMI. So in straight up damage, the NEGEV deals a 44 damage. Now compared to the MINIMI machine gun, the MINIMI deals a 43. So as you can see, the NEGEV deals a 1-point increase in damage over the MINIMI. And both the MINIMI and the NEGEV are one of the reasons why I'm comparing the NEGEV to the MINIMI, is that both machine guns are very fast fire rate, but are low damage machine guns. Actually, it's not really fast fire rate because well, actually I'm thinking of NX machine guns, because I believe most NX machine guns deal like really high damage and have a pretty fast rate of fire as well, so let's ignore those. But in terms of like compared to like other machine guns such as like the M60 or MK40, I'm pretty sure they don't have like 79 rate of fire. So the NEGEV and the MINIMI are kind of low recoil-ish, at lower damage, but fast firing machine guns, so if you guys will bear with me on that one. Portability wise, the NEGEV is identical to the MINIMI. They both have 35 portability, which is understandable. They're both machine guns, for God's sake, so it's not like you're gonna be running around with this like at Superman speed while chucking around a machine gun. Moving on to the rate of fire. The rate of fire on the NEGEV is identical to that of the MINIMI. It's very fast at a 79 rate of fire, so this is pretty fast for a machine gun, that is. So not too fast in compared to like other weapon types, that is, so that's to be understood, but it's pretty fast for what it is. Moving on to its accuracy. The accuracy is at a 62 on the NEGEV, so this is a 2-point increase over the MINIMI machine gun. And the NEGEV, I feel, is a very accurate machine gun. You can definitely spray people down at middle or far range, given that your aim is pretty good at the same time, so there you go. Moving on to the recoil. The recoil is actually pretty high statistically speaking, at 71, and the MINIMI also has a recoil of 71 as well. But in my honest opinion, even though Nexon says that the MINIMI and the NEGEV both have 71 recoil, I honestly think that this is kind of like a mistypo or something like that, or I don't know what to call it, but like some sort of typo, because it doesn't feel like the NEGEV or the MINIMI have that high of a recoil. I understand that they are machine guns, so thus it would be understandable they have high recoil, but for machine guns with that kind of recoil, it just doesn't make sense to me, because it means that they had the same recoil as the MK48 does, and that to me is kind of mind-boggling. I don't understand why they would have the same recoil as the MK48 would, because the MK48 has very high recoil kickback, and well, not per shot, but it kicks your machine gun around very quickly if you hold it down on full auto. So NEGEV and the MINIMI, not so much. In fact, their recoil spreads and kickbacks are not very great at all. In fact, it's one of the more manageable machine guns in that aspect. Moving on to the recoil spread, I've already covered this just now, but the recoil spread on the NEGEV is pretty similar to that of the MINIMI. It expands a little bit faster than the MINIMI does, but overall they're pretty much the same. The spread doesn't spread out too quickly, I don't think, and especially if you're crouched down, it's pretty accurate at range. So moving on to the recoil kickback. The kickback is similar to the MINIMI's kickback in that it's not very great at all. In fact, it's pretty low for machine guns. So there you have it. Pretty useful for a machine gun. And overall, the recoil controllability on the NEGEV is in my honest opinion, a little bit on the easier side of things, like the MINIMI before it. I feel like the NEGEV, because it has higher damage, has a kind of a more has a wilder like a recoil, kickback, and a spread. But overall, they're pretty similar, and you can use them interchangeably and still not really notice much of a difference. Moving on to the Tapfire ability. I mean, you can Tapfire the machine gun, but why would you? You might as well just spray. Sprint drawback. The sprint drawback on the NEGEV is quicker than normal than it is on other machine guns because of its sprint animation. So keep that in mind. The draw speed, however, is on the slower side of things. It has the same draw animation as the M60 and the M60E4, not the M60, but the M60E4 and the E4 Steel variants. And that means that it does have a completely silent draw animation. Don't get me wrong, but it does feel kind of slow on the draw aspect of things. So you might wanna consider having your machine gun out and ready to fire before you actually find yourself in like a hotspot, which obviously that's not obvious. That sounds like a really obvious thing to say, but I mean, you never know if you're gonna get caught with your pants down. Not literally, of course. Moving on to the center speed. The center speed on the NEGEV is pretty slow, but that's to be understood because it is a machine gun. But it is, I think, in my honest opinion, the center speed on the NEGEV machine gun is faster than it is on other machine guns. So that aspect you may enjoy, but I mean, it is a machine gun. How much you'll be able to enjoy the center speed on the NEGEV is up to you to determine. Moving on to the reload speed. The reload speed is actually pretty quick on the NEGEV because of its pretty rapid reload animation, and it has the same, or its reload animation is based off the M60 and the E4 Steel, the M60E4 and the E4 Steel variants. This is reload animation, so in that respect, it is pretty quick for machine gun anyway. That is. And moving on to the fire modes. The fire modes on the NEGEV there's only one, and that's fully automatic. And in terms of luck, the NEGEV's luck is average. I don't find myself getting too many headshots, though. I think in this gameplay I might get like a long range lotto off the guy off some on the rooftops or something like that. But other than that, if you ignore that, the NEGEV's luck is not too great. So I don't recommend going for headshots with NEGEV. Moving on to the ammo capacity. The ammo capacity on the NEGEV is standard for as it is with most other machine gun, or all other machine guns, that is, at 100 rounds in the belt feed magazine and another 100 round belt feed magazine in reserve. So you got plenty of ammo to spare. Moving on to the key physical characteristics. So the NEGEV, actually, if you think about it, if you look at their profile pictures on the Combat Arms Arsenal page, they actually look pretty similar. In fact, they look almost exactly identical, and the only things that give them away is that the ammo box on the NEGEV is like a darker shade of olive green or something like that, and the buttstock on the NEGEV is different from that of the MINIMI. So I mean, those two only, if you were just to look at them from their pictures that Nexon gives us, it looks pretty much like the MINIMI, but on the HUD it looks pretty different from the MINIMI. So the NEGEV is pretty noticeable, especially on the kill feed. You can definitely tell that someone's using a NEGEV. Moving on to the muzzle noise. The muzzle noise is actually a low frequency, like a very it's more along the lines of the quieter machine guns and combat arms, and it really does sound like a machine gun, like the low kind of rumbling sound. So. Moving on to the attachment options, you can only attach extended magazines or magazine modifications to your machine gun, just as always. Fire team worthy, of course, it's a machine gun, duh. And for quarantine, yes, depending on how you want to play, if you're not the free runner and you're just like me, where you just want to sit tight and lock down a position from zombies with a couple machine guns, then that's good for you, I guess. Most machine guns would do the job perfectly anyway. In fact, all of them would. So my frank personal opinions on the NEGEV is that you just don't use the NEGEV. I mean, the NEGEV costs more than other machine guns, and like, seriously speaking, the MINIMI machine gun pretty much does the same job. And even though it is pretty fun using the NEGEV, it's not special in pretty much any way, other than the fact that you can see your clan emblem on the top of the ammo hatch. So other than that, I don't know why you would use the NEGEV machine gun. I mean, if you wanted to use it once in a while, just to show some clan spirit, I guess that's fine. But you're better off using like the MINIMI machine gun. I mean, it's only 1 point less. It only deals 1 point less damage, and you can customize the damage on the MINIMI anyway to make it deal more damage. So I don't know why you. I just don't know why you would use a NEGEV anymore. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. This has been the review on the NEGEV machine gun. It is a good machine gun. Don't get me wrong, but there's nothing special about the NEGEV that makes me want to use it over other machine guns, if you know what I'm saying. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. This has been the review on the NEGEV machine gun, and next up will be the review on the P99 pistol, which you see me use for the last couple seconds of this last half or so minute or so of this gameplay. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll get into the P99 review next.